What's going on YouTube? It's Joey back with another Millionaire Maker video for NFL Week 14 on DraftKings. In this video, I am going to start off by recapping my NFL Week 13 Millionaire Maker lineup, where I went right, where I went wrong, and we'll see the results with how I did in that contest. And then I will go over my two favorite stacks for large field tournaments, specifically the Millionaire Maker on DraftKings for NFL Week 14. But before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It's free to subscribe. It helps us out a lot. We're at 140 subscribers, and we appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far. So if you wouldn't mind, just hit the red button right down below. And then as always, you could leave a like on the video if you're feeling generous, or you can comment any questions you may have about DraftKings for NFL Week 14. We respond to every comment, so go ahead and do that. And then if you're interested, we just released our full NFL Week 14 preview podcast on every podcast platform out there, including Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, etc. Y'all know the deal with that. Go check it out. The links for that will be in the description down below. Fairly easy to get to, and a lot of good information that we provide you guys for NFL DFS. So make sure you check that out. And then finally, you can follow the DFS Dose on Twitter at the DFS Dose. You can follow my personal Twitter at Joey Carrion DFS. But without further ado, let's get right into the recap of NFL Week 13 on DraftKings. So looking at my lineup from Week 13, you could see that I ran a Kirk Cousins to Justin Jefferson stack with James Robinson on the bring back, and then I decided to play Jonathan Taylor and the Colts defense. I decided to play Chris Carson. I thought he was one of the better running back plays at 6,300. Decided to correlate him with Darius Slayton, which ended up being a dud. And then I played Cooper Kupp and Robert Tonyan as one-off plays. And I know I didn't really mention Kirk Cousins in my Millionaire Maker video from last week, and I kind of got on it on Sunday afternoon, I won't lie, and I had Jared Goff in this lineup, and it would have been better with Jared Goff as he outscored Kirk Cousins for $600 cheaper, I believe. So probably shouldn't have made the switch there, but all in all, I don't mind the performance that this team put up. Kirk Cousins obviously had a good game. Justin Jefferson had a good game. I thought Jonathan Taylor was one of the best tournament plays on the board. He ended up getting there, paired well with Colts defense at 4% ownership. And I thought this was a very correlated lineup. Guess I kind of went wrong with playing Darius Slayton. Maybe I have, an inherent bias to Darius Slayton, and I didn't really want to play him, to be honest, but he correlated with Chris Carson, and maybe that's just overthinking the correlation too much instead of making the better play in that 4,600 range. So that's definitely something that I have to improve moving forward. But all in all, a solid lineup. And as you can see here, I ended up cashing, so won $30. And I've extended my streak, I believe, to 2 or 3 weeks of cashing in the Millionaire Maker. Obviously haven't won, but that's the goal with these videos, is to try and win the Millionaire Maker. So for NFL Week 14, that is what I am going to do in this video, is highlight the stacks that I am going to consider playing in the Millionaire Maker for this week. So for the Millionaire Maker on DraftKings for NFL Week 14, there are a lot of stackable options on this slate. We have Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Justin Herbert, etc., etc. And I mean, I like all of those quarterbacks, I really do, but the one that stands out to me the most, and the stack that I'm going to focus on first, is a Charger stack. So Justin Herbert at 6,800, and then we can include Keenan Allen in this stack as well. We can also include Mike Williams, who is 4,700, and then we can include Hunter Henry, who is 4,400. And man, these price tags on these Chargers players are just so cheap in this great spot at home against an Atlanta defense that has given up the second most amount of fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. And this just sets up well as a bounce back spot for the Chargers offense, I would like to believe. And, we can even throw Austin Eckler in here at 7K. I think he is stackable with Justin Herbert due to his receiving upside. So this is the players that I'm considering for a Charger stack. Obviously not going to play all of them, as all of them won't get there. If, let's say Mike Williams goes off, it's very unlikely that these three other guys go off, but I would consider all four of these players in a stack with Justin Herbert. Mike Williams has a very cheap price tag, as well as Hunter Henry. I think Keenan Allen is a standout play at 7,700, and Keenan Allen throughout the season has had one of the best target shares in the NFL, sitting at around 28% for his team, which would be top 3 in the NFL, and he has a floor of 10 targets. Like, if you look at his game logs, he is hitting 10 targets in pretty much every game. In the games that he's not, he's still hitting 7 and 8, and he left early in this game, so not really considering it. But God, this is just a target volume monster in Keenan Allen, and I want him in my tournament lineups in this great spot against Atlanta. Mike Williams has, phenomenal big play upside and can break a slate at any given moment. Hasn't really done it this year. Only one game above 30 points and only 2 games above 20 points. So it's kind of been hit or miss, and mostly miss with Mike Williams, but I like this spot too much against Atlanta, and it's just one of my favorite spots on the board is the Chargers offense going up against an Atlanta passing defense that just gets absolutely torched by opposing quarterbacks and opposing wide receivers. And then if we could project, Justin Herbert to see this type of pass attempt volume, 49, 52, 53, 43, 43, 42, he's absolutely going to smash this week. The only caveat with the stack is that it could be kind of chalky. I think Justin Herbert could be chalky. I think Keenan Allen could be chalky. But if we see a guy like Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, or Hunter Henry, come in for projected lower ownership than some of the players around them, then that's the players that I would target in the stack. And then I think there are numerous bringbacks with this Charger stack as well. I think Julio Jones is my preferred bringback at 6,600. You're just getting a grown-ass man at a very favorable and cheap price tag, and he had 10 targets last week against the Saints in his return from a hamstring injury. As you can see on the screen, he's questionable, and he missed practice on Wednesday, but I just like to assume that's a rest day, and Julio is good to go for this game. And don't be fooled by this third on the opponent ranking. The Chargers are beatable in the secondary. So I like Julio a lot as a bringback, and you can pay up to be contrarian with Calvin Ridley, who, was top 5 in terms of air yards for week 13, and this is a player with tremendous upside. So I like Calvin Ridley a lot at 7,500. And like I said, you're just paying up to get off of some of these guys that are going to be owned in Justin Jefferson, Tyler Lockett, maybe even Adam Thielen. So I like Calvin Ridley a lot, but my preferred bringback would be Mr. Julio Jones with this stack. Now, the second stack that I am going to highlight in this video is a Titan stack. So Ryan Tannehill, and then you compare him with AJ Brown if he's healthy, and Corey Davis, and I'll just include Derrick Henry because I'm gonna touch on Derrick Henry in this portion of the segment. And then my favorite bringback would be DJ Chark, and I'll click him in a little bit, but I just want to talk about this Titan stack real quick. This is just an absolute smash spot against a Jacksonville defense that gets torched by opposing quarterbacks, opposing running backs, opposing wide receivers. They're just one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and it shows each and every single week. This is a team that we want to target, and this is just a very, very good spot for Tannehill, the Titans pass catchers, and Derrick Henry. Now, you can play Derrick Henry in game stacks because the way Derrick Henry operates is if he goes off for 40, there's a good chance that he gets there based on long runs and long touchdown runs, which speed up the game. And obviously, if Jacksonville is losing, we could project for them to throw more. If Derrick Henry is breaking off long touchdown runs, and if the game gets sped up, that can still provide value to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, obviously with more drives, more plays, more opportunity. Maybe not more plays if Derrick Henry is scoring long touchdowns, but more drives and, like I said, more opportunity to score points against this Jacksonville defense. Although I believe Derrick Henry is going to be one of the higher owned running backs on this slate and one of the highest owned players, period. So I don't know if I would include him just for ownership and leverage concerns, but you can't go wrong with playing Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown and even Corey Davis, who I think is a phenomenal play this week, period, in cash games and tournaments at 5,700. And he's been getting more targets than A.J. Brown, but this is a double stack that I like a lot. And then obviously my preferred bring back is DJ Chark at 5,300. If you listen to the DFS Dose preview podcast, which you can find in the description down below, DJ Chark is my favorite tournament play at wide receiver this week. Mike Glennon was top 10. Mike Glennon was number 1 in the NFL in deep passing attempts in week 13, and he's just out there playing YOLO ball like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He just really doesn't care. He has nothing to lose. And DJ Chark had, about 130, 140 air yards last week against the Vikings. Obviously didn't get there and hasn't gotten there in the last 3 games that he's played, but I think this is a phenomenal spot against a Titans defense that is very, very beatable, and the Jaguars are at home. So I like DJ Chark a lot, and I also like some of the Jaguars ancillary wide receivers as well if you want to go there. Keelan Cole is cheap. Laviska Shenault, if he's healthy, I know he left the game last week. Laviska is 4,100. Keelan Cole is 3,700. And then even Colin Johnson is somewhere down here. I don't really want to find him. And even Chris Conley, if he's back at 3K. So there are plenty of bring back options, but this is my second favorite stack. And those 2 stacks that I mentioned, and these 2 stacks in this video are 2 of my favorite stacks for this week. I didn't mention it in the intro, but if you're interested, you can also join our free Discord chat where we talk about DFS literally every single day. The link for that is also in the description down below. And a lot of things can change from the time of this video till, Sunday at 1 o'clock where, I might not be on this stack anymore due to, new news and new relevant information, because you always have to be adapting in DFS. You can't get stuck in your Wednesday thoughts on Saturday night or Sunday. So if you want to stay updated on my thoughts and other people's thoughts, join our free Discord chat, link below in the description. But that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Like I said, it helps us out a lot, and we're just trying to grow. We're trying to grind every single day. Make sure you check out the NFL Week 14 preview podcast on any podcast platform, and make sure you check out Ben's video that will come out tomorrow on the same YouTube feed about his favorite players for cash games on DraftKings for Week 14. Make sure you check that out. Great video by him. And yeah, that is going to be it. I hope you guys have a good day, and let's sail to the money in NFL Week 14. We've been sailing for the last couple of weeks, like literally sailing to the money. And Ben actually banked a tournament on Tuesday, and we had, a player in the Discord come in the top 50 in the Millionaire Maker on Monday. So, we're just sailing at the end of the season, and you don't want to miss out. So make sure you join the Discord chat. But like I said, that is going to be it. Have a good one, guys. I will see you guys next week for the Week 15 video.